So, this is an intermission. I know I haven't posted in like 3 months. I went to go watch Romulus like 2 months ago, and I never got to talk about it. And I'm recording this on the 21st. I wrote the script on the 20th, and then I also wrote the rest of it and did more research on the 20th and the 21st. So all throughout, like today and yesterday, which is probably going to be Halloween for you guys, but I got 5 viruses. I had to reset my entire laptop, factory reset it. So I lost all my YouTube Drive files, but before I did that, I uploaded all my stuff to my Google Drive. So I do have everything, but I opened up this file again, which I made like 2 months ago when I watched Romulus, so I could talk about it. And all my files were corroded and lost, so I had to re-upload them. I had to download them I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes re-uploading YouTube files that I used in my last 2 YouTube videos, and also downloading more files for this YouTube video. But, you know, I'm still working on my shitty-ass laptop. Hopefully I get a new one soon, and maybe it will have better quality, because I'm so tired of using these these headphones from the 2000s, and also my crappy laptop that's 5 years old and breaking down. But let's get started on today's video.
Oh, back again. Okay, so I'm refilming my intro, as you heard in my intermission, but let's just get into it. Welcome back. I know I'm back too, but we're gonna be talking about some very interesting topics today. We're gonna be talking about horror films today. I know I talked about horror briefly in my AI versus artist video, whatever I can't cuss yet. But I talked about it briefly, but let's continue. I'm gonna say this once. There are spoilers for the movies that will be talked about. Some of them are very violent compared to others, and I want you guys to take care of yourself before watching something that might make you uncomfortable. Even if it's something like, to some people or most people, these movies aren't really scary at all, but to some they might be, and that's okay. I know I'm totally scared of the movies that I put in this list, except for like one, but that doesn't matter, you know. Each chapter is going to be split into 3 segments, like Attack on Titan Season 4, but we're going to be talking about character design, musical performance, and atmospheric tension. So let's hold hands and walk through the foggy mist of the graveyard. Let's start with a well-known tale, and going to the most terrifying continent, Australia. According to Wikipedia, The Babadook is a 2014 Australian psychological horror film written by director Jennifer Kent, in her future directorial debut, based on her 2005 short film Monster. So of course we're going to pick apart why The Babadook is so scary, and let's start with the visuals, you know? Mr. Babadook is a large figure shrouded in darkness, with a smile almost scarier than Charlie Kirk's, and a big old top hat like Dr. Facilier from Disney's Princess and the Frog. He has those gnarly nails and teeth that make me question what went through Kent's mind when making him, but like, we'll get into that right now actually. According to Wikipedia, she said, the man in the beaver hat from the lost 1927 film London After Midnight was her inspiration for the Babadook's looks. There isn't a lot to talk about in terms of musical production when it comes to the Babadook and the movie. It's a primarily silent soundtrack from what I remember, but it was composed by Jed Crizell. The score was officially released for the first time by Waxwork Records in 2017 on black with red haze vinyl. The record sleeve features a recreation of the pop-up book from the film. She began writing the screenplay around 2009. She said she sought out to tell a story about facing up to the darkness within ourselves, the fear of going mad, or in an exploration of parenting from a real perspective. The Babadook is a metaphor for grief, mental illness, and the terrors of parenting. Not only is this whole movie just absolutely horrifying due to it being a psychological film, meaning there are no jump scares, or a lack thereof jump scares, so we just have to sort of stare and wait. But the entire film and the interactions between Amelia, the mom, and Sam, her son, with each other and outside characters are just absolutely uncomfortable. Like you're watching Hereditary for the first time. If you want a deeper explanation on the Babadook or psychological films in general, I suggest watching a video by CZsWorld called The History of the Babadook, and also The Scariest Genre of Horror by 4+. I'll link both of their videos in the comments or the description. Let's continue with a less liked movie. One that brings back the memories of people born in the 80s. Skinamarink is a 2022 Canadian experimental art, supernatural psychological horror film written by director Kyle Edward Ball in his feature-length directional debut. Wikipedia states, Ball previously ran a YouTube channel called Bite-Sized Nightmares, though which he would ask his viewers to post comments about their nightmares and then film recreations of said nightmares. Skinamarink was inspired by the tropes recurrent in mostly commonly submitted nightmares. The film was preceded by the proof of concept short film Heck, which was also directed by Ball. He recalled, I'd had a nightmare when I was little. I was in my parents' house. My parents were missing, and there was a monster. And lots of people have shared this exact same dream. Skinamarink is incredibly hard to pay attention to, and I can definitely say it's not for everyone. I've seen people say it's extremely dreadful, while others say it's absolute horseshit. If I'm being honest, people who sit down and watch analog horror could probably really enjoy this movie, but I'm not going to get into the plot because I want you all to watch it for yourselves, but I will warn you, it does involve children being involved in horrific acts and situations, and the movie is extremely dreadful, similar to the Babadook. Everything is uncomfortable, and there aren't really any jump scares, but again, it's psychological, and we know how that goes. It's hard to tell what's going on and whether you're just tweaking or if there's actually something staring you in the face because of the grime of the VHS. The whole movie is just grainy and it's very dark and has this blue filter over it that makes it even darker because blue is one of the deepest colors and stuff. But it's basically just very quiet, and it's like the beginning of Poltergeist but on steroids for like half an hour, or for an hour and a half, my bad. The thing that scares me the most about the movie, actually, like, this one scene just makes me want to shit my pants. Like, no. There's not much to say about the Skinamarink's monster, or it's just because it's just a voice that talks to you in the dark. But that's probably like the scariest thing you can think of because of the fear of the unknown, you know? It also, you know, can take forms of other people. We can only really ever hear the demented voice of the creature as it feeds off the suffering of the main characters. But again, if you want more info, please go watch Wendigoon's video, or also watch The Cruelty of Skinamarink by Flawed Peacock. Their videos will also be in the comments or description. Have you ever heard of a doppelganger? The word doppelganger has multiple meanings. A ghostly double of a living person, or a person who looks very similar to someone.
How it must have been to grow up with the sky, to feel the sun, the wind, the trees. But your people took it for granted. We're human too, you know. Eyes, teeth, hands, blood. Exactly like you.
Us is a 2019 psychological horror film written and directed by Jordan Peele. They're all probably yelling at me right now, like, Justice! Justice! Everyone knows Jordan Peele because he's a scriptwriter, a film director, an actor, and a voice actor. As a creative writer who loves horror films, Jordan Peele is a must to have on this list. Peele explained in the film's digital release special features that a central theme of the film is American privilege. One of the central themes in Us is that we can do a job collectively ignoring the ramifications of privilege. I think it's the idea that what we feel like we deserve comes, at the expenses of someone else's freedom or joy. The biggest disservice we can do as a faction with a collective privilege like the United States is to presume that we deserve it. It isn't luck that has us born where we are born. For us to have our privilege, someone suffers, or that's where the tethered connection, I think, resonates the most, is that those who suffer and those who prosper are two sides of the same coin. You can never forget that. We need to fight for the less fortunate. The atmosphere is created by the film's exploration of the duality of human nature and the American fears of outsiders. The film explores the duality of human nature, which is symbolized by doppelgangers. It also explores the terror of hearing someone you view as other assert that they are no different than you. Songs like I Got 5 on It by Lunas and Las Flores by Minnie Riperton are added to the soundtrack to further emphasize the privileges of not only being American, but being white, which is something that us as African Americans don't get. In terms of outfit design, there isn't much to say. I couldn't really find any reasoning as to why they did the costume design this way, or why they picked a red jumpsuit in particular. I have no video recommendations for Jordan Peele's Us, as I've done most of the analysis in my head and watched the movie for the 800th time, analyzing it as I watch it and picking it apart, but could never find any analysis videos on Us as a movie or anything. But I do recommend watching it because it is a one-time watch, and you won't ever get to get those same feelings that you did when you first watched it. That's all for today's wild journey into the depths of psychological horror. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I spent 2 days writing this fucking script, and I also spent several hours recording this audio because my laptop is shit. And also, follow my Instagram and TikTok at stutter.tm on both. And I'll see you all in the next one, and happy Halloween, and don't let the fruit bats bite.